Okay, so the first question on your assignment here for 2.3, let's take a look at that. So A, okay, 3 squared plus 1. So write out the question, then show your work underneath, and again, start to work down in columns, so it should look like this. You're going to do the squared first before you do the addition, and what you want to remember is BEDMAS. So that's your order of operations, that's your hint there. So we do brackets, then exponents, then division, multiplication, whichever one comes first, left to right, then addition, subtraction, whichever comes first, left to right. So 3 squared is 9, plus 1, 10, done. That's what A should look like. Then move over on your page to do B. You could probably do 3 wide on your paper probably. So B looks like this, 3 squared minus 1. Oh, that's pretty easy. We still would do the exponents first. So this is going to be 9 minus 1 is 8. Vertical columns, circle your answers. Everything's going great. C, 3 plus 1, all squared. Order of operations says I would do brackets first if there's anything to do inside the brackets, and of course there is. 3 plus 1. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to evaluate that to 4. Keep the squared in there the whole time. And now 4 squared is positive 16. Done. I'll do D as well. Finally, 3 minus 1 squared. Brackets first. That's going to be a 2 squared. 4. Done. Okay, there's a couple questions from 4. So A is 2 cubed times 5, and I'll just use my dot there instead of the x. When we're choosing between exponents and multiplication, BEDMAS says that exponents would come first. So we'll evaluate 2 cubed first. That's going to be 8, and then I would multiply by 5, so that is 40. B. You can use an x still, I guess, if they do. Again, multiplication, exponents, it doesn't matter which one is on the left and right. You always do the exponents before multiplication. So I'm going to do 2 times 5 squared is 25. The answer, 50. If we have a question between multiplication and exponents, we would do exponents first, except when the multiplication is inside brackets. So that takes precedent over the multiplication itself. So we have to do inside the brackets first. So that's going to be 10. If you want to include your brackets there, that's great. So 10 cubed, we just learned power of 10. That's 1,000. And I'll do D for you. 2 times 5 squared, again, brackets. So we'll do 10 is what we do first. Squared is 100. Okay, so here's a few questions from number 5. So very similar to what we've been doing. Again, we want to look at, there's exponents, there's adding, there's brackets, and there's another exponent here. So nothing to do inside the brackets. That's just a negative number. So let's move on down the line to exponents. So remember, if you have 2 of the same operation, just do whichever comes first, left to right. Do it in that order. And you can actually do 2 things at once here if you want. So this will cut down on some writing. If you want to do this, you can do it like this. 8. Now we're definitely going to save this addition to later. But you could also do this exponent over here as well in the same step if you want. And that's going to be what? Negative 2 cubed is going to be? What's the answer there? So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, negative 8. Good. All right, so let's remember when we add a negative, what's that the same as? It's the same as subtracting, right? So what's 8 minus 8? 0. 0 looks like your answer. Perfect. Okay. What about B? B says 2 minus 3 all cubed, so that one we're going to do inside the brackets first. 2 minus 3 is -1 all cubed, which is -1 times -1 times -1. It's an odd number of negatives, so that's a -1 for an answer. Stop me if you have any questions about this, but I'm just going to keep going through here. So this one over here, I have exponents, I have subtraction, I have brackets, and I have another exponent. So this is very similar to A. Let's do the first exponent one. That's going to be 8 minus -3 times -3 times -3 is -27. When we subtract a negative, that's the same as what? You have two negatives, that's the same as adding. Very good. So that's 8 plus 27. 8 plus 27, we've got 3 to go to 30, then another 5 more to make up the 8, so that's going to be 35. And that's your answer. Finally, there's D down here. I'll do D for you. Very similar. We do our brackets first. That's going to be +5 cubed, and go down. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Correct. Okay, so there's the work and answers for the first 4 for number 5 as well. So again, please for you guys, please have 4 to 7 done for tomorrow at minimum. Do more than that if you can. We have a quiz on 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, and 2-2 tomorrow.